Hello and welcome back to HRD Live. I'm now joined by Pep Rosenfeld of Boom Chicago. Pep, how are we doing?
I'm doing. Yeah.
So I'm in trouble with the stream, actually. If you might want to refresh your page.
That's my favorite way to screw with.
That's pretty
live
good.
streaming.
I enjoyed that. Also, everyone, Pep, happy birthday as well.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Birthday,
Thank you very
30
much.
years old.
30 years old.
How does it
No,
feel?
31. 31.
Oh, sorry. I thought I'd lie because I wanted to make you feel better.
No,
But,
I feel great.
But you feel good. How was the birthday session? Was it? Did you get
It was
everyone to say
fantastic. It
happy
was a terrific
birthday?
session. I didn't want to play the birthday card. I wanted to earn it. I wanted to earn them singing to me.
Let's see if we can earn it now. Okay. So tell us a little bit about it, Pep. What happened in there?
Well, it's the session. So the title of the session was "Getting the Best Out of People During Times of Change." But my secret is that I think humor is the best way to get the best out of people in times of change. And it was a session in two parts. We talk about how humor is great for the team morale and for their health, which you need when the ground is shifting. But also about how humor helps you communicate messages. Maybe difficult messages that people don't want to hear, like we're changing, this is happening, the way you're working is changing, in a way that lets the door open to those changes and maybe lets the messages land and stick. So that's half number one. Then the second half of the session, we do a bunch of interactive activities where people sort of find out by doing what it's like to be working in a collaborative work environment, what it's like to say yes and instead of no, what it's like to actively listen and how that helps you be more creative and, God forbid, more funny.
So when you're in that business environment then, that often, as you say, isn't that funny, how can you make that change? Like, it seems like it must be such a big thing for a lot of, especially for business leaders, to say, okay, I want to make things funny in some way. How do you start to make that change?
First of all, I think you have to realize that everybody is funnier than they think. Frequently event organizers will tell us, don't go in and make jokes about the new strategy because the new strategy is serious. And I'm kind of like, yeah, but if everybody's thinking the new strategy is basically the old strategy but with higher targets and lower budgets, they're thinking it. And they're going to talk about it. So the question is, do they talk about it behind your back at the water cooler? If water coolers are still a thing, or do you lead the conversation and let them know you understand their worries and their concerns? And I think humor helps you do that second one.
And it seems it's kind of about honesty, I suppose, and also about trust as well. It's like, I feel like I can have this conversation with you.
Well,
and that's got to change the business mindset a huge.
So the subversive aspect of this is that the same kind of environment where humor can flourish is the same kind of environment where people are listening to each other and building trust. If you're open and build trust with folks, those are the folks you laugh with. And maybe more importantly, when you laugh together with people and take risks, like we have folks do with these interactive activities, that builds trust, without them even worrying about it. You never had to, what'd you do today? Built trust. No, but we laugh together, and that does build trust.
And getting that started, I suppose, is this a case of sitting down with everyone and saying, okay guys, we're going to do things this way, or is it a slower process than that? How do you get it off the ground?
Well, the way we work with organizations is we'll go in and we'll do a couple things. First, we learn about what the company is up against, what folks are probably thinking, what they're probably worried about, and then we've got a two-pronged attack. Attack number one, write jokes about the whole thing. We will start these sessions with 15-minute basically roast, where we make fun of the boss in front of the boss, and the boss pays for it. But he does so because he knows we're opening cynical minds to this new strategy, way of working, situation.
Of course.
Then we get people working with each other. When we do activities with them that have them focus on how they listen, should they listen, being honest, not just being honest but being kind. I think the best way to do it is to do something interactive. Now, if you're not going to do something interactive, then it's got to come from the top. Then the boss has to commit to listening, commit to creating the kind of work environment where people do say yes to each other.
Right. Yeah, it does seem like there's kind of a mindset change that needs to take place at the top there in business, right? And if there's any HR leaders, business leaders watching who right now at this moment think, right, I want to get this off the ground and get this started, but haven't the faintest idea of how to get going right now, what would be Pep's top tip to get it started right now before they get Boom Chicago involved?
That was the top tip. That was the top tip. I'm sorry. Top tip number one is sit down with a piece of paper and someone you trust who can be honest with you and say, am I open to new ideas? Do I create an environment where people can be honest? If you ask scared people if they're scared, they say no. But if you ask people you trust, are my people scared, they might tell you the truth. But if you're not honestly open to new things and new ideas, and honestly open to the possibility that you're part of the problem, then it's not going to happen.
Fantastic. Pep, thanks so much for joining us, and
No worries.
enjoy the rest of your 30th birthday.
I'm going to go get drunk now.
Awesome. Stay tuned, guys.